Hello, and I am back after I discovered I was right. I did forget someone who had gotten hired by the Wizards, and that someone was Wes Unseld Jr. Now, Wes Unseld Jr., of course, I'd have to assume is the son of former Wizards at the time Bullets legend, Elvin Hayes, you know, the 6'7" center who gobbled up rebounds like a madman, and funny enough, he actually, when the senior Elvin Hayes started his career, they were still in Baltimore, and they moved to Washington during his career. And of course, also after that move to Washington, you know, the elder Unseld, along with another NBA legend in, Elvin Hayes. Yeah, it's Elvin Hayes. This is what happens whenever I try to go off script sometimes, but it is what it is. But yeah, Elvin Hayes and the elder Wes Unseld brought a championship to Washington back in the late 70s. And, you know, unfortunately, the elder Unseld obviously died fairly recently. I mean, I think back in like late 2020. But now his son gets to coach the franchise that he brought a championship to. So, I mean, good, you know, good for them. I haven't read up too much on Wes Unseld Jr., but I mean, if memory serves correctly, his name had come up in a couple of other coaching searches. Also, if memory serves me correctly, he was on that Denver staff, and I mean, in my opinion, Mike Malone's top 5 coach in the NBA right now, so, you know, that was a pretty good coach to learn from. The other thing I want to talk about is, since I finally have a day off today, and then after today, I have a lot of days in a row of working, including on the night of the draft and tomorrow. I'm just gonna kind of do some thoughts on the draft leading up. I'm probably gonna miss a lot of big trades on draft night because like, let's see, well, tomorrow, if anything big happens, then I might be able to get it, but then I have a bunch of closing shifts in a row. But, see, thoughts, obviously, you know, Cade's go, well, there's all these smoke screens going around. Apparently OKC tried to trade number 6 and Shy for the top pick, which, wow. And Detroit turned it down. But again, the source isn't the most reliable. Weaver said, don't trust everything that you see. So, because I mean, you know, a lot of teams want Cade. But it looks like Weaver's just locked in on, we're going to get Cade. Then, you know, with the second pick, it seems like it's dwindled down to they're taking Jalen Green. He'll be the 2 guard. Kevin Porter Jr. will be the 1. Christian Wood, for now, will be their 5. With Cleveland, it seems like they're going to take Evan Mobley. I mean, Mobley can play the 4. That would be an interesting dynamic with him next to Jared Allen. You know, because Jared Allen is a beast of a shot blocker, and Mobley's an even better one. Now we get to the 4th pick, where there's words starting to creep in that, you know, Toronto might pick Scotty Barnes ahead of Jalen Suggs, which, like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, for one, you have Anunoby and Siakam at the 3 and the 4, which is where Barnes fits best. So that's number 1. No, and then number 2, I mean, look, I didn't really get to watch much of Barnes, but, you know, I did get to see some Cade. I did get to see, like, Mobley's game against Colorado, but I got to see a lot of Jalen Suggs. And I mean, other than the Baylor game, pretty much every time I was impressed. You know, I mean, if you watch Jalen Suggs, you know that the term it factor, it almost seems like it was made for a guy like Jalen Suggs. Like when the game's on the line, he just has this energy where like he wants the ball in his hands and you know he's gonna do something good with it. So yeah, or on defense, you know, you want him guarding the other team's best player and he almost always makes it work. I mean, perfect example of both those dynamics is the UCLA game in the Final Four. You know, with Mobley against Colorado, you know, Colorado, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Colorado who jumped out to a big lead. And then Mobley was leading a comeback, but the thing that didn't sit right with me, and this is something that generally has been considered a big concern with Evan Mobley, you know, a concern is his rebounding. And what do you know, Colorado won that game on, if I remember right, a putback dunk. But, so yeah, I mean, Mobley's still going to be a really good player, I think. It's just, you know, just a little concern to keep in mind. But yeah, after that, at number 6, I mean, it was presumed that that Kuminga was locked into 5 or 6, but now we're starting to get talk that if OKC isn't able to trade up and let's say that they're able to, I don't know, trade up to number 3 and get Mobley or something like that. If they stay put, the word that is starting to chirp in is that they'll take Bouknight, or however you pronounce it, from UConn. Bouknight is an athletic shooting guard who can score from all 3 levels. Has some concern on defense, but, you know, I mean, there's been guys that have come into the league with defensive concerns and then they become really good defenders. I mean, prime example, DeAndre Ayton. You know, but then after that, you know, I mean, after that is when you start to get question marks. I mean, Kuminga could go like 7 or could go 8, you know, depending on who's at 7, you know, whether maybe if the Warriors are there, if they want to take him, or if they stay there and want to take someone like, I don't know, Franz Wagner. That's someone who I've been hearing jump up into the 7-8 conversation. And then Keon Johnson, who I'd heard in that conversation for a while, seems to be slipping a little. So is Jalen Johnson from Duke. Which is something I've alluded to. Another thing I've alluded to, Duarte is going up the board. What else? Oh yeah, I already mentioned, you know, with that recent Grizzlies-Pelicans trade, it looks like the Grizzlies are looking at Josh Giddey or Franz Wagner, but it's sounding like Franz Wagner isn't gonna make it to that pick. Now another thing is, it sounds like the Kings are shopping around Marvin Bagley. Maybe they're able to find a trade for him on draft night before they pick. Maybe they take Kai Jones, or maybe they keep Bagley going a different direction and the Charlotte Hornets get Kai Jones. I'm sure they'd be glad to, because boy, that team needs a center. Let's see, what else? I mean, speaking of Duarte, I mean, it sounds like he's gonna be in the range of like 14 or 15. Because again, that's the guy who's been rising. Who are some other interesting prospects? The Williams kid from Stanford. I heard a couple rumblings of maybe Orlando would be interested in him at 8. And then there's other stuff out there that's like, no, he's not really going to get taken around like late teens, early 20s. So that's a wild card player to watch out for. let's see. What are some, what would be something else to watch out for? Oh, it sounds like Moses Moody in all these discussions is kind of getting left out. And watch, that means he's going to get picked up by like the Spurs or something. Davion Mitchell's also slipping, you know. I'm actually not that surprised because as much as I liked him at the start of the process, the more you think about it, you know, he's been in college a few years. You know, as good of a defender as he's been, because, I mean, he absolutely shut down Jalen Suggs pretty much. You know, the height's a concern. What else? Shooting, you know, how much of his shooting from last season was a real thing? You know, the free throw percentage calls that into question. Previous season called that into question. And yeah. I mean, who would I think would be some steals to look out for? I mean, I will mention Herb Jones as one of those kind of guys till I run out of breath. Okay, Jeremiah Robinson Earl is another one I can think of. There's probably a few more that I'm missing, but overall, yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to watch the draft, but it'll be interesting to see how it goes down. Peace.